What's up, guys? I'm gonna make my first truck video. So I have my 2017 Ram 1500. I have these tow mirrors here. They didn't come stock on my truck. I got these off Amazon. I think it was like 148 bucks. It's actually the second one I had. The first one I had was the mirror was all screwed up and vibrated a bunch, so they sent me another one, returned it. Got these ones, they were better. However, that side over there, the controls were reversed, which was fine because I could just adjust. Well, eventually the mirror started vibrating a bunch too, so I was just like, screw this, I'm gonna return them. Anyways, I found these mirrors here on eBay. These ones are white, and I think that it'll color match my truck really nice. So I'm gonna do a little tutorial. There's a bunch of these on the internet, but I'm gonna show you because I've done this like 4 times. It's really simple. I actually already started. So let me flip this camera around. What you're gonna wanna do is take this plastic piece off right here. So just lift it up, pry it off, comes off really easy. Then there's this little piece, which is wedged in here, clipped on. You get yourself a flathead screwdriver, small one like that. Just pry it, comes off really nicely. And then there's a Phillips screw right there. Sorry, I already did this. Pull that off. And then what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna pry these controls off. Lift these up. Oh, by the way, before you do this part, roll your window down. So you're gonna lift this off, and then there's a little tab right here you're gonna lift off. I'm gonna try to hold my camera and do it at the same time. All right, guys, I wasn't able to hold it, so I'm just gonna do it like this. So you're just gonna lift up on this tab like I mentioned, pop it up. Let me show you. So I pop that little red tab up, and then you're just gonna pull the plug out. So just like that. Save this thing. Then the next thing you're gonna wanna do is there's these little Torx bits. I think it's T20. There are, I believe, 6 or maybe 8 of these little T20 Torx screws around the edges here. And you're just gonna wanna pull those out. They don't all screw out. You kind of just start them and then they can kind of just strip out, just like that. Save these. And then after you do that, there's these little clips here that you'll see. Let's see if I can adjust this. Okay, this little clip right there. Get your little screwdriver. And these things can go flying. So you'll just kind of, I'm gonna set my phone back down. Just kind of get it under there and ease it out. They look just like that. Okay, save those. So we're gonna go around, take your screws out. This is actually the most annoying part, in my opinion, of the whole process. Sometimes, at least mine, they're stripped, or they seem like they're stripped, the little plastic retainers. They still function, but so if you screw it, it'll just kind of stay there. But if you get a little flathead screwdriver while you're doing it, you can kind of pry up, and then the screws come out very nicely. So there's another one. Anyways, that took a lot longer than I thought. I think I need to order some more of these little plastic tabs because they're like stripped out from, I've done this like 4 times on my truck. So anyways, after that, what you do is, let me make sure I got all this stuff. You just lift it up. Oh, sorry, I did forget. So you're gonna get your little flathead screwdriver and you're gonna pop this part out here like that. Then you're gonna lift up. Okay. And it comes off very nicely like that. Set your panel off to the side. And then here's the tricky part. So on your stock mirrors, you have these shorter little bolts here. Let's see if I can point right there. On the aftermarket ones, it comes with these really long ones, okay? If you leave the really long one on this part, it'll actually scratch your truck and you can't shut your door. So guys, this is the other side. That's what it looks like when you use one of these long ones that usually come with these aftermarket ones right here instead of your stock one. it usually leaves scratches that metal pretty good. So I'm gonna have to get that covered up before it rusts. Take your old stock mirror one off for this one right here, the one that goes more towards the front of the vehicle, and replace that screw or that bolt with it. And then you can just thread those nuts on there like that. So anyways, I'm gonna take mine off. It's 10 millimeters. You're gonna, actually before you do that, unplug your harness. Get your little screwdriver. Anyways guys, I got a bigger screwdriver here. Trying to pop this harness out, it's kind of giving me some trouble. There we go. Okay, so get your harness out, grab your 10 millimeter. On your original stock mirrors, you're gonna have little retainers for your harness. And so they're just little plastic retainers you can just pop out pretty easy. I didn't put them back on when I put these on, I just tucked the harness in. So once you loosen those up, you can kind of just hand thread them off. Set those to the side because you're going to reuse them. It does send you, with these ones, it does send you with some small nuts. Haha, small nuts. But I used the original stock ones. They seem to be a little bit better. So just like that. This is why you want your mirror down, so you can kind of do it without having to have a second person. So mirror's off. So this is the part that I'm talking about. So this came off of my stock mirror, and I had switched it over to this tow mirror for that front part to have clearance. Grab yourself a 14 millimeter box wrench and just loosen that up. Okay. And then one more thing that I would recommend before you install your new mirrors, put this on and then also clean the paint on both sides to just make sure that it's free of debris to preserve your paint. All right, so I got my Armor All. You can use whatever cleaner you want. And I'm just gonna wipe this down. Make sure the paint's nice and clean on both sides. Then set that off to the side. I'm going to take these little tabs off, protect it. You know what? It actually looks like this one might be short enough, this bolt on here. So in my tow mirror, this one's gonna be the one that's closest to the front, and it looks like it's shorter than all these other ones. It doesn't have that extra little part there. So they might have done these ones right. So when you put your mirrors in, obviously don't drop them. Have your nuts close by. Stick your wiring harness through there. This wiring harness has the signal and puddle lights, which I'm gonna have to go to my dealer to activate. So of course I have the most trouble when I'm doing a video. Stick that bad boy on there, and I did forget to take out this little metal tab from the other mirrors because this one has it on there. So on the other side there's a little metal tab. Take that out. And guys, if you have any questions while you're doing this, just leave a comment. I'll respond. So get your nuts, which should fit. Hand tighten them on there to hold it so you don't have to hold this thing up yourself. And there you go. I'm gonna test fit this to see if it has enough clearance. It should. Yep, so they did this one right. So good job, eBay seller from China product, because everything seems to be made in China, unless you want to pay like 10 times the price. Actually, I couldn't find any US sellers that made these that were painted factory white to match the truck. So if they did, I might have considered it. So tighten these up, get them nice and snug, not too snug. I don't know the torque specs on this. One thing I am gonna have to look up is where the puddle light plugs in, because I'm not sure. All your vehicles for this generation, 3rd gen, 4th gen, sorry, should have the module for it already. It just has to be activated with the dealer. So anyways, oh, there's only one spot for it, so it should fit. So puddle lights, let me show you. It's hard to do this. So puddle lights here. Can you see? Flip the camera around because it's easier. Puddle lights here. These are your power. Power to operate it. That goes there. And then what you can do is you can plug in your little thing to operate your mirrors, and you can just test it to see. I'm not going to do that. One more thing I did want to mention with my other mirrors from Amazon that I got is they whistled really bad. So there was an air leak and I couldn't figure it out. I tightened them down a lot and I checked everything and there was a really bad air leak. So it just drove me nuts. I had to have my music on all the time. But anyways, really hope this one doesn't have that. Get these nice and snug, and then the process to put it back on is just reverse. So you're gonna make sure your harness is tucked away. Grab your panel. This part's a little tricky because you gotta kind of line everything up. Make sure you get your little lock thing in there, over here in the hole, and then everything should just kind of fall into place. But because I'm making a video, it's going to be difficult. There we go, just like that. So I'm going to put this on. Oh, that's one thing I didn't say. So if you put your panel on without your wire up there, you're not going to be able to access it. So I had to take it off. Pull your little wire out for your window controls and your mirror control, and then you can plug that in there. And I'm going to test this thing, so I'm going to turn my key on. And it works, so that's good. I'll turn my truck off here. That back in there. I don't always do things in the same order, but anyways, I'm gonna put these little tabs in these holes all around. Easy peasy. And then put your Torx. And this is what I'm talking about, how they're shipped. You can just push them in. You don't even have to screw them in, at least on mine. So yours probably isn't the same. My truck's pretty low mile, but it was an enterprise vehicle. It's got like just over 36,000. And so I don't know if they just didn't take care of it or what. Get your Phillips. This spot right here. Or actually, since I'm going in order, you're gonna want to put this on first. Okay, got that on. And get your Phillips. Screw that in there. Don't know the Torx specs, don't make it too tight, it's plastic. Put your cover on. And what's next? Okay, at this part I like to just make sure these are tight because I'm going to be covering them back up. Can't access this one, so I'm just going to grab my 10mm box wrench that I like to have on hand. Okay, and then put your cover on. Voila. So let's take a look. All right, guys, so that's it. I do have like some saran wrap plastic on here I need to take off, but That looks pretty good. My truck's an outdoorsman, so it's got the color matched grill, and I think this will look really sharp on there. So anyways, the other side's just the same. If I left anything out, just ask questions, I can help you out. I learned just from YouTube, so I'm making this video just because I wanted to make a truck video. So if you liked it, hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, that'd be great. If not, whatever. Hopefully it was helpful for you, and you guys take care.